Coach, hard-fought game tonight with Wofford. Unfortunately, doesn't quite go the Catamounts' way. Just what are your general thoughts immediately after tonight?
Yeah, I think we fought incredibly hard, to lose at a shot, in a tie game, with 1 second left and you don't have any timeouts. So you can't get the advancement. But I'm really proud of our kids. Obviously, I think there's been growth since we played Wofford the first time. Just so many times during the game, I think, a team that's, fighting for the, regular season championship is trying to keep their foot on your neck, and we kept fighting. We got in foul trouble in the first half. I know how good they are offensively, so I had to gamble. I felt like I had to gamble and put Taja Beans and Zoe Cruz back in with 2 fouls, and they each got their third, so then we had to change the lineup. Again, I thought, one of the messages we've had all week is rebounding the basketball, and we were able to out rebound them. We were able to hold their guards, at bay. Their guards are such good rebounders. They ended up having to play small, because we got both their posts in foul trouble, which again, then we had to play a little bit smaller in some unconventional lineups. And, I told the team, I think looking at the total game of all the different times we could have laid down, or we could have said, you know what, it's not our night. Like they've got us, they got it, we cut into it, and then they got it to, they go right back out to start the second half, and then we cut into again. AC had 2 really good shots at the rim when we were down 6. Neither of them go, and then they get it back to double figures, and we fight again. So, to me, especially for those 4 seniors that only have 2 games left, or had 2 games left, I just think you saw that sense of urgency, from Jada Burton, especially. She took a lot of the scoring load upon herself, and, not just hitting the 2 threes, but obviously, at the end, when we were down 3, we were going to either try to get a quick 2 and get it to the rim, or we had some action to get multiple shooters open, and she did a great job of absorbing the contact. Maybe the hardest thing is making that free throw then with getting the game tied. So, it's you hope you can learn from it. You have a 5th year going against a freshman down the lane to try to win the game, and I think Taj's first and second effort was really good, and I think it's why Helen Matthews is a all SoCon level player, as she wouldn't be denied there and ended up getting it up off the glass. So I think there's growth. I told our team nobody should have their head down the way that we battled tonight. So I think it's one of those things, like, our kids will want to get out there as soon as possible, and that's the great thing with the Thursday, Saturday slate, is we're going to need to be against a Furman team that's playing really, really well.
One of the things that I would say is cornerstone of this team, maybe just how mentally resilient that they are. And you kind of touched on it there with that answer. Team goes down 9-0 early tonight, and then all of a sudden it's an 18-14 point game going into the second quarter. What does that do for you, having that ability to kind of coach a team who, things aren't going right maybe, but you're able to kind of get them to refocus, readjust, and kind of keep playing?
Yeah, after the timeout, I think we had made a couple of, critical errors where, we'd done a good job in the prep and practice, and a little bit of overemphasis, I think, by our players. Like, we ran through some screens, we were supposed to be switching. We gave up an offensive rebound right away. And you hope then with that senior leadership that they're talking more in the huddle before I even ever get in there, for everybody to kind of take a deep breath and come out. And, we did. We got that next basket. And then, like you said, then it's 9-4. And then, I think you just have to see it go in. I thought the fouls at the beginning of the first quarter and the third quarter really hurt us. We allowed them to get, where they could see the ball go in. So, I think you had to do that one. I had to call that one. Obviously, I like to save them for the end, to have one at the end there when it's, a 2-point game with 1 second left. But, I think we had the one in the third quarter, too, where I felt like we did a good job of coming back out of that and being able to refocus. And, even when they went zone, we kept talking about it. I bet 4 times out of timeouts we talked about it, and they finally did on the 5th time. We were able to get an open shot, and Beans made a jumper. So again, you see that learning curve, right, of taking something, from a timeout or an emphasis we've had this week and being better at it coming out of the timeout.
Looking ahead now to Saturday, Furman, but of course it is also the Catamount Senior Night, honoring 4 seniors who are exhausting eligibility, 6 total in AC Carter, Jada Burton, Chelsea Wooten, Zenoria Cruz, Nicole Azar, and Reagan Trum. What does it mean to have 6 leaders like that on the team that you've been able to work with?
Well, I mean, and 5 of those returning, right? And like understanding that there was going to be change. And again, I think I hope they see that like being able to take on change, just in a coaching change, is something that will help them in all parts of their life moving on. Zoe, Chelsea have been huge parts of our leadership council. Obviously, the ball's been, in Jada Burton's hands a lot, especially after Deuce was, ruled out for the year with injury. To be able to recognize the season that AC Carter's having, where every game plan is built and how to stop her and multiple bodies around her. And again, still coming up with a double tonight. And then obviously, Reagan and Nicole have expedited their graduation process, where Nicole graduated last year and Reagan's going to graduate in the spring, to have them recognized with that, and so we'll start. We'll start the 4 that are exhausting their eligibility. I told them I'm not quite ready to have a technical at the beginning of the game and put 6 starters out like some people have, but and Beans will start. So, but I just like that importance of Nicole and Reagan knowing that, and obviously how well Nicole played tonight. But they've all brought something different. I think that's the fun part of this journey is, they've got different personalities for them to buy in and try to change, what the daily narrative is about Catamount women's basketball. And I'm excited for them to be able to have their families here and be recognized one last time in front of the Ramsey Center crowd.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday.
All right. We'll see everybody at Senior Day on Saturday.